money magic, Babylonian blood magic, Babylonian sex magic. Remember, Baba told us about the porne, the spirit of the porne, that produces the over obsession with pornographic material.
Yeah, right.
And a lot of us don't know what's being done. Somebody inboxed me and asked me to talk about incubus and succubus. All it is the energy, that's your natural sexual energy used against you in a conjure.
Right.
So you trying too hard to be righteous, you can't live your life, but life gonna live you, because you're gonna have these experiences, whether you accept them or reject them. And when you reject the experience you're supposed to have, nature takes its course and it comes back as an egregore of a belligerent nature.
Go ahead.
Right? You're supposed to have consensual sex, male to female. That's natural. Right? But when you start denying yourself what's natural, it starts to create something called an aberration.
Mm-hmm.
Once the aberration takes hold of the first person, it becomes contagious like a disease. Because everybody wants somebody. Come here, look at this shit. Come look at this shit. Come here, look at this shit here. Everybody wants somebody to come look at this shit. But don't nobody want to clean it up. Everybody want to film the police beating the bejesus out of somebody, look just like them, but don't nobody want to go fight the police.
Yeah, right.
Right. We don't have no problem putting it on social media and filming it, but if we got to stop them from what we filming, that's going to fuck up my motherfucking likes.
Right.
It's going to alter my algorithm. We back to the computers. We back to the AI. And then they're seeing is AI.
It's the boy from Omen 666, and it matches that. It's like it's similar. They similar. The similar background with the freckles and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look at
now, this is the irony of it. The story of the boy from the Omen is the story of Barack Hussein Obama. All right. The story starts in a series of movies. There's 3 original Omen 1, 2, and 3. Before that, you had Rosemary's Baby. And in the middle of all of them 4 movies, they dropped another one called The Demon Seed. The Demon Seed is about a lady being impregnated by a computer, hijacking her psyche, causing her to go through a parthenogenesis. Now,
go ahead.
What it's really telling us, due to the level of technology at the time, is that it wasn't a computer, but it was still technology. It was artificial insemination. Right? The lady didn't know what was taking place till she gave birth to a child. Now, at that point, I would have thought it was an independent movie. But the child was a problem child that we knew about from the movie itself. Now, Rosemary's Baby come out where the nun, remember, in the Demon Seed, the lady was single. She was unattached and unmarried.
Go ahead.
In Rosemary's Baby, the lady is a nun who gets pregnant with a child, a demon seed. They say it in the movie. So the reference takes you right back to the artificial intelligence of the first movie, the demon seed. But that's not the kicker. Rosemary means a resurrection of a rebellious woman.
Go ahead.
All right. They playing a mirror faction out of parthenogenesis using this AI, the laboratory test tube babies. And while they doing that, they telling us the story from the side of the enemy, looking at the earthborn giving birth to his protector.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, in the biblical story, they merged the mother and the son and gave him a whole new name called Jesus.
Go ahead.
Right? Now, the son originally was called Emmanuel, but they ain't never called him that again once they named him. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They try to tell us that the boy grew up and his name was Yahshua. But they tell us, ain't it?
Yeah.
The problem comes in is that none of this shit that we talking about was written in Hebrew. It was written in the Greek. Well, Greek doesn't say Yahshua, it say I-E-S-O-U-S. Right? Isos. Or Isis, when you put the proper pronunciation to the vowels and the consonants of the grammar, it literally spells ISIS. Right? 21-part play. Why is it a 21-part play? Because it was 21 dirty Moors that came over here. And it's 21 fezzes in the George Washington Fez Memorial. It was 50 chiefs, and it's a painting of 50 chiefs on the painting with Charles V, Uncle Charlie, who told us that if Big Mama say get him, I'm not going to get in the way. You got to remember, you had different kings in Europe at different times that was doing different shit at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So you got one of the kings of France doing one thing, the king of England doing something different, the king of Spain doing something different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? This is how the Virginia Company and the Northwest Company was originally owned by the Crown of England. The Royal Moroccan Company was incorporated under the crown, under the Spanish crown, under the Tudors.
Mm-hmm.
They was at odds on the high seas in the trading of services and goods after the Virginia Company merged with the Northwest Trading Company, both of them slave trading companies.
Mm-hmm.
You can look them up. They're not hard to find. I mean, you can go do the research on them. You just didn't know they merged because they don't want to tell you that part.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go do the research on why did they sign the Paris Accord, we know it today as the Treaty of Peace and Friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It doesn't have nothing to do with us, because if it had anything to do with us, it would have been signed over here.
I think it was by robbing us. I think it was some part of robbing us because
read it. It's it tell itself. You don't really have to do you know how people be like, you reaching. It tell you in the story. In the history they wrote for the Paris Accord, it say that the Paris Accord was called because this newly formed company called the Northwest, it was the Northwest something, was at odds with the Royal Moroccan Company. These two companies were stealing each other's goods on returning to Europe. Now, one of them is Spanish, one of them is English.
Mm-hmm.
When they called the meeting, there was not one chief there. So we already know it don't got nothing to do with us. It was a ceasefire agreement and a cooperation agreement to protect and support each other in the transition of goods from the Americas back to England and back to France. I mean, back to Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this became a problem, but what made them sign it in Paris? Remember, after they signed this, they built the Eiffel Tower and they sent the Statue of Liberty drag queen ass over here. Mm-hmm. Right now, France is losing the war against Toussaint.
Okay.
They'd already been whooped and replaced in the wars with Chief Pontiac with the English. He started off fighting the French because Detroit was originally Detroit. It was a French settlement, right? And so while they fighting, the French losing sells the protectorate agreement of the Louisiana Territory, which is actually known as the Missouri Territory.
Go ahead.
Right? and it became the Louisiana territories after the Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah. From
Okay, now, huh?
From the King Louis.
No, that's how they named Louisiana, King Louis, and Queen Anna.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother story. I don't want to go in there. Okay, now, when the Paris Agreement is saying the French is done over here, they lost. You only get 3 shots in warfare to win, and if you lose 2 in a row, you done. 3 rounds and out. It's a boxing thing, amateur. Right now, once the French gone, the French can't do nothing directly to steal our resources any longer. We still have the Spanish, the Dutch, the Portuguese, the English, the Brits to contend with. Right? Most of us don't know that it was Russia who sent the tribes aid and assistance in the so-called Civil War. Not the Civil War, Revolution. No, was it Civil War? You gotta look it up. I got brain lock.
Say that again.
The Russia aided us in the Civil War. It was either the Civil War or the Revolutionary War. We gotta look it up to be sure we got the right war.
I got you. The damn computer is going. I don't know what it's doing. I know ain't nothing on this computer, but go live. All right, so it's doing this.
Okay, while you doing that, I'm gonna keep talking. Okay, so at this time, this the Tsar of Russia that's sending us over here support.
World War II?
No. Civil War or Revolutionary War. It's one of them.
Let's see. No.
Put civil in front of war.
Okay, I got you. Nah, maybe I need to do it like this.
Just put civil in front of war.
Gotcha. All right, there we go.
Read what that say.
During the American Civil War, Russia supported the Union largely because it believed that the U.S. served as a counterbalance to its geopolitical
rival,
the United Kingdom. And the Russian Navy, Baltics, and Pacific Fleet wintering in the American port of New York and San Francisco, respectively. Yeah, ports.
Okay, now we ain't even fighting a war in on the West Coast. Why is they putting ships in San Francisco? Look, these people haven't crossed. They haven't crossed. Look, they telling on themselves right here. This is a critical piece of data right here.
Oh shit, bro! I got it. I got it, bro. I see what's happening. I see what happened.
When this is going on, we haven't even had the We haven't had the Mexico-American War yet. America haven't annexed Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California, Nevada from Mexico yet. None of this has happened yet. 1863. None of this has happened yet. Right? The Spanish-American War don't kick off until the 1890s. Right? Or somewhere up in there. Now, they sending troops to San Francisco. That's where the Caliphate of Queens was.
I know we know the real truth of this, but I want to make this connection. See what date they okay, they say 67. See, look, by around the same time that Civil War, because that's when they was at, like in the Louisiana Purchase, 1865. Why would Russia look? Okay, I got it, Rod. Okay, so that's during the same time that Andrew Jackson then was doing the Trail of Tears, and during our retreat, as we were trying to get away from them, or they was pushing us to the west. It could be that Russia sent people to help us against them.
They've been sending people to help us. Look, this is what ended up happening.
Okay.
After they sent us support, the assassination was developed to get rid of the czars of Russia.
Go ahead.
They was the only royal families outside of the Americas that supported the organic people wherever they found them. So they started with an information campaign, stealing information from a brother named C.L.R. James. He became a renowned communist philosopher, but he wasn't teaching communism. He was teaching tribal structure and tribal format to govern large numbers of people. They wanted to take out the part where everybody had equal access to all resources. So communism was the experiment that they run under the platform of socialism, which is both of them are written in the translations as democracy. Right? So once they had what they call the Red Winter, when Bolshevik Revolution kicked off, and the assassination of Tsar Nicholas went down, to get rid of the Russian royal families, the remaining royals of Russia fled to America.
Weird.
That's why they never found them. Every time something happened, everybody kept running over here for help. Right? So Big Bubba said, okay, come on, baby. I'm going to take care of your little dusty ass too. Just don't let them motherfuckers come over here. And they came over here.
Right.
Can you blow that map up?
Yeah, you want me to blow it up big? Okay, here we go. Let me save it in this bar real quick. Computer's down, stolen, bro. Okay.
So they had to get rid of the royal families of Russia. We had to go find somebody in Russia to back that got the blood and the right as a czar. And if we find him, he can be put in, pun intended. Put in.
Pun intended.
Right. And why is he put there?
Yeah.
To overthrow the vampires, Vlad, right? To overthrow the vampires of the empire of the vampires, the bloodsuckers.
Put in.
Yeah.
Here we go, Rob. We got it nice and greasy right here.
Okay, you see where it say Illinois territory, Mississippi territory, Indiana territory? Right. Yeah. That's called the Northwest Territory in the law books. You see where it say Mississippi territory?
Right here, yeah.
Where's Louisiana at? See, all that's the land of flowers from the eastern seaboard of Florida all the way to the Gulf, going around Louisiana into Texas. That was off the land of flowers. And that was heavily forested terrain. It was deforested by lumberjacks. And this is why lumberjacks became celebrities in the era. Right? When we went into the Contra War, they was tricking our ass to do everything that was against our best interests. And we was working for them and didn't even know it. That's why they say we were slaves, but we was never slaves.
I know it.
We was deceived. We was lied to. We was dupes. We was tricked. Right? We was hoodwinked. We was bamboozled, but we ain't never been no slave.
Mm-hmm. We definitely got hoodwinched. That's for sure. And
They trickery, they trickery is amazing to me. But look at these years. You see the orange?
Yeah. Right here.
Can you zoom in on that date?
1803.
Now remember, in 1863, 60 years later, right? This is when all these, the Northwest Territory is all of the white, including Ohio. That's part of the Northwest Territory too, right? But they showing you how they moving in and expanding from the east going to the west. But for some reason, who is in the west already? They tell you right there.
Spaniard.
Spain is already in the west. So why is Russia sending? Who is Russia sending the fight in the west? It can only